Welcome back, everyone, to ESA Cup Season 7. It's a penultimate stream of the second phase of this tournament. I'm Pastor, he is Bozmax, and we are going to be taking you through this one. Minions versus Mafia Squad. A bit of a clash of titans, you could say. Only one of them can go through to the quarterfinals, and they have a best of 3 to play out here. Max, I mean, it's going to be a pretty big game.
Is definitely going to be a big game. And even more exciting for me is that you and me are finally guessing together again. It's been such a long time since it's been you and me. Like usually it's Pasta Pubo and mostly me with Nash, sometimes Whiskey. So it's a bit nice to have this old duo again, which we've mostly seen throughout Season 4 and a bit of Season 5. It's very nice to have that back as well. But indeed, it's going to be a hell of a game. Of course, we're still, this is the final week of the Swiss system, the 5th week. And I mean, these are all BO3 matches this week, meaning, of course, the loser will be sent home and the winner will be sent to the 3rd stage, which, of course, are going to be the finals brackets. Well, let's just catch up with time a little bit as we are already a bit behind on schedule. Let's just quickly take a look on the Swiss system bracket, so at least we got an idea of what we're looking at right now, because of course the first match, AGM versus Cosma, was already played on Monday, where Cosma came out victorious with a 2-1 score. Hell of a match that was. It was an absolute beautiful one. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to watch the VOD.
Yeah, absolutely. We had Ecclesia versus Wii Sports rescheduled from yesterday to tomorrow. So we still have a bit more ESA Cup action this week for you after today's stream. And then there you go. You can see as well Mafia Squad versus Minions.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very tough. Minions and Mafia Squad, both of them actually lost a best of 1 last week. And that's why they find themselves in this position. But they have had a bit of a different road to get here. Mafia Squad obviously have had a bit of a rocky time trying to progress through. They got those first 2 wins on the board. It was a 7-5 win against Flawless 7, and then it was an 8-6 win against Linux Defense League, but then they fell 7-3 to Votum. They fell 7-3 to Flawless 7, and now they're here in a best of 3. So it's really, can they right the ship, or is the momentum fully away from them? Has the rug been pulled out from under their feet? Today is where we'll find that out.
Today we'll find out indeed. And to get an idea of what we can expect of this match, let's take a look at the predictions that have been done by both our community and the production crew. So let's start with the production crew, where we can see, I mean, Nash lonely on the last page, voting for Minions. And then after a short break, we'll now see it refresh. And it's actually, that's actually 50-50. I mean, almost 50-50. It's just one more vote going to the side of Minions. It's a total of 4 votes for Minions versus 3 for Mafia Squads, with Okon's vote being unknown, as his unfortunately glitched out and we had to remove his one. So he might have been the decisive one to make it a 50-50 or even more to the side of Minions, but very, very close. And then the community, of course, to give us even more in-depth expectations for this map, and that's even further in the favor of Minions, which is somewhat understandable. They have done very well in the past. They are the last season champion. Had a little bit of a dip after that, but they are definitely working on a comeback and doing better and better as the season is progressing.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing to point out as well is, while the Minions name continues, the team very much does not. Pretty much all of that championship-winning roster is on Linux Defense League, whereas this Minions is pretty much Alex Northy and some other friends that he's got along. This time he's with some different folks. But yeah, the Minions name persists. So we'll just have to see what happens in this game. And actually, let's have a look at where we'll be playing this game. We have the map veto for you. 9 maps in the pool, 6 are out, and the 3 we have left are Oregon, Cafe Dostoevsky, and Clubhouse. Now, Max, you looked at this beforehand. We were a bit surprised about the Cafe pick.
Yeah, the Cafe pick was one that was coming a bit of as a wild card. Like, we were looking at the head-to-head standings that we have on these teams. And for example, like what we could see, they played various maps against each other before. I've actually lost my information right now, but I will have it here in a second. Let me just quickly move it back here on the right screen. There we go. So what we can see, like, these 2 teams, they have played each other twice in the recent 3 months. Of which they play 2 series, 2 BO3, and actually 1 BO3 and 1 BO5. The BO5 was actually the grand final of the RBS tournament season 2. Of those 2 series, each team won one series. So it's basically a 1-1 score between these two teams. However, if we look at maps, we see 4 maps being won by Minions versus 3 maps being won by Mafia Squad. So there things are a little bit more on the side of Minions. And then if we look at the map specifically, we can see that Oregon, which is usually actually a pretty good map for Minions, was won twice by Mafia Squad. So I'm not too surprised by seeing that map not actually. I'm actually surprised by the map making it. Like I would actually expect Minions to ban that one. But an even more interesting one is Clubhouse. It was banned, played once by these two teams. It was won by Minions. But if we look at Minions in general, we see actually they win in more than 66% of the pick time, which is actually a very, very good win rate for Minions on the map. But interestingly, they had the chance to pick it, but they chose for Cafe, which is not a bad map either, but it's not as good as Clubhouse.
Yeah, a lot of interesting statistics and permutations to go through. Obviously, it all kind of comes down to what's in the server. So narrowing down onto Oregon, then we have Minions starting on the defense, Mafia Squad starting on the attack, I believe. Obviously, this is the Mafia Squad pick, but like you mentioned, Minions are pretty strong here as well. Where do you see this map playing out? Do you what's your prediction for this map specifically? Are we seeing a close game? Is it going to be a bit of a blowout? Is it going to go to overtime? And crucially, who do you think is going to win it, Max?
Well, statistically, like between these two teams, Oregon was played once, I said, right? Actually played twice, and both of the times it was won by Ghost Army. Those maps might have been close, like it was a 7-8 one time, and the other time it was a 5-7. So both times Minions did get pretty close, but generally it is Ghost Army. Ghost Army Mafia Squad. They actually know by 2 names, depending on which competition they're playing in, but it's basically the same team. That's why I'm mixing the names up. But generally, like Mafia Squad has been the strongest team on this map. However, with Minions starting on the defensive side, the momentum will start in their favor. Of course, like the defensive side is a bit stronger on Oregon, and like we can expect them to get about 4 rounds out of it. If they get 4 rounds, then it's fine, that's normal. But yeah, having that bit of a point boost in the beginning might help Minions to potentially win this map the 3rd time around. So yeah, my guess, I think it will be a very close one, potentially even go to overtime. But I'm thinking I'm actually 7-5 for Minions. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, a Minions
That's my guess.
pick.
That's my guess.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate then. I reckon Mafia Squad are gonna take it. I reckon, yeah, this map should be close.
Yes,
that's
sure.
The problem with Oregon is that a lot of the time, if a team has a bit of a weakness in the fundamentals, they can be exposed heavily. And my worry is that Mafia Squad, with losing 2 weeks in a row, they might be slightly rushing into things a little bit. There is possibility for that to happen, especially when teams start to get in their own heads. It happens a lot. And that means that they might be a little bit more lax on their fundamentals, on some basic things that do get skipped over, especially as this is going to be quite a high pressure environment for both of these teams. If one of them starts to let the mask slip, it could be very dangerous indeed.
Yeah, but then there's also, of course, one thing we can say about Minions, like the team has seen a load of roster changes recently. I guess it's all people lacking out, by the way, with the issues that we have been seeing for the game, but likely they will return in time, or our observers will pause to give them a bit more of a chance to return. But what I was saying, also with Minions, they have seen so many roster changes in the past months. Like even the person was making jokes about it on Twitter with a screenshot of their Wikipedia page, because of course Minions has one, and there you can see a very clear overview of all the roster changes that happened there. So Minions, as a team, might not be super well experienced to play together as a team. They do have some very good names on the board since recently, for example, Solo, an ex-Team Misclick player, has joined the gang, but I believe there's even more players that we might recognize from other squads from before. I'm quickly trying to see. Yeah, either way, Minions, their roster might be very good. Also Lego Man is there, and Tom Fights. It is quite a few well-known names from the past. But the question is, how much time did they really have to find the right connection and the right the right synergy within the members of the team?
Well, these first few bands coming through there in the background, Ying is not really a surprise. Neither is Azami. Nook is a bit more of a strange decision for me, considering the nerf that grenades have had recently. But she is still a very, very strong attacker. She can get in behind enemy lines. And in fact, she is the second most banned attacker in this league, just above Montaigne. Ying is the most banned attacker. So you got the top two there, and then two of the top three in terms of defense. The only one that gets through here is the Fenrir, but Solace and Azami taken away. Again, all of these operators are very, very strong. It's just a case of we don't want to deal with it. Yeah, sure. If you don't ban it, then you can play it, but then you also have to play against it. And operators like the Azami, like the Solace, like the Ying, you just don't want to deal with that. You can just shelve it, put it away. You don't have to worry about that. And it enables you on the defense or the attack to be a lot more free with how you play around the map.
Yeah, so both Mira and Fenrir are still in the game. Two operators that are commonly banned on a map like Oregon, and once they're not banned, you often will see them being played. So I'm very excited to see those in play. Of course, Mira a little bit weaker than before, can easily be a little bit more easily countered by the Ashe, for example. Kali, as well, but we might not see her. Ashe is a very frequently played operator, and we have already seen her counter Mira various times this week and last week. So yeah, very curious to see how this will go. Of course, right now we're just waiting for the final player to return to the lobby so we can start this match. But with the operator bans now done, we at least have a bit more. We know a bit more what we can expect.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing to point out as well is I'm seeing, obviously we can see the game feed as well.
Yes.
I'm seeing a tuber out being floated right now by Alex, and that's very, very exciting. Obviously, Tuber out, the newest defender, and kind of has no counters. There was some exchange with Maverick, who was going to be the primary counter, and then he got a bit of a nerf to his countering ability, something like that. It's been a bit of a mess, but nevertheless, Tuber out is very, very strong. Has the AR-15, which is a pretty good DMR, or also the MPX on the defense. So I mean, it's a pretty incredible kit. Has a C4 as well, can disrupt a lot of the attack. It's a bit of a showcase of that power creep that the defenders have had. You know, we've had Solace not have a nerf at all in the year that she's been around, nor with Azami. Both very, very strong, and Tubrau is sort of joining that club with Fenrir and sort of Valkyrie and Mira as well. You've now got not even a terrible trio, but kind of 6 operators that are just absolutely terrifying as an attack to play against. And the attack have had nerfs to their grenades and other pieces of utility as well. It's a very tough season to be an attacker, that's for sure.
That's definitely for sure. And also one thing, like, again, we can already see the operator picks happening right now. We can also see a Kaid, and that's something that Nash already spoke about a few times on the stream, where there's actually a very interesting relation between Tubero and Kaid. Because usually, like Tubero, if Tubero, let's say you throw the electrified hatch, the hatch will no longer be electrified because of the effect of the gadgets. But the Kaid's range is actually so big that you can place the electric claw so far away that when Tubero uses his utility on the hatch, like his gadget on the hatch, it will be frozen. And once the freezing effect runs out, immediately it will be electrified again, as the electric claw was still active and wasn't affected by the utility whatsoever. So maybe Minion's going to utilize that, maybe already being aware of it. But that's definitely a very strong mechanic in the game right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It shows that, I mean, these teams are able to get a hold of the new operators very, very quickly. And that's also something that can lead to success in the game, whether it be, you know, just edging out a team or whether absolutely dominating a team. It comes back to those fundamentals and having a grasp of a new operator, being able to use them effectively while counters aren't quite known, is going to be a massive tool in your belt to be able to effectively win games. So this makes me very excited for the prospects of Minions for this series, despite the fact that I predicted Mafia Squad. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen it too many times where a team looks like they're down and out. They've lost 2 of those games in a row and then wins the best of 3 to get through into the bracket stage. So I don't know. I'm just a bit wary of that storyline. As we can see, a player has indeed returned back to the lobby. So hopefully we should be heading in very, very shortly. And indeed, there we have it. We will very momentarily return to the the grounds of Oregon, Max.
Yeah, I'm actually just looking at the names, the IDs of the Mafia Squad members. Every name starts with like a letter and then a number, but I don't see any relation between them. What does that even mean? Like K7, I7, or L7, perhaps K9, C7, and then the last one I quickly lost it. K7, I guess again.
Sanzo, Kanzi, Iron, and Kane I can figure out.
Yeah.
As for the remaining player, I have not a Scooby.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Like, it's clearly something they thought through. We don't see it yet, but yeah, that's interesting. Okay, like no clan tag whatsoever, which is also understandable as they still haven't been able to figure out their name, because in some leagues they are called Mafia Squads, and neither one they got Ghost Armies, so yeah, understandable to not see any clan tag whatsoever. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Well, either way, the first round is now starting. We are going to the basement, very understandable and predictable on a map like Oregon, often called one of the strongest bomb sites in the entire game, really. But I'm very curious to see like how we're going to see the Kate and Tupero being played, and of course also the Mira, who can be very strong. No counters to Mira brought really, except the Twitch, of course, which is like one that we already have seen in the game for so long, so nothing there, but like no Ash or something that could potentially destroy the class from a distance.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see the Flores coming through as well, which means that this position inside of blue should be pretty easily dealt with by this attack. There's no sort of Mute or Mozzie to kind of hinder that along the way at all. Which means that the attack do get a pretty easy run in here. Obviously, we can see Hog Rider is inside of Pillar, and we do have Tom Fight also taking the position inside of blue bunker, just getting very, very aggressive and making sure that he can cut off the way through, and actually just takes a bit more of a passive position, recognizes the danger that they were in, realize they can hold back a little bit, and potentially find a win here in this gunfight as Kane starts to send in the flashes, looking for the first pre-fire sent round, but still, we sit in an even stalemate. It's 5 versus 5 as we enter the second half of the action phase.
And many other attackers approaching from the big tower area, trying to get control of the big tower, and likely over meeting as well, from where they can open up the hatch using the termites or potentially the harbor utility on Kenzie. But actually, Hawk Rider coming out with the first kill. That's the first member down. That's the Gridlock losing a life, but then double kill from the floors on both Tom and Hawk Rider. And another one, the third on Alex as well. A triple kill from the Flores, putting his team in a little bit of a head start, especially as Iron gets another kill on solo. And now it's Ghost playing solo here for the team in a 1 versus 4.
Well, there's the first kill. Very, very nice. That's Kanzi going down. Spots the second, but Sanzo wins out the gunfight anyway. There is the first round for the attack inside. Mafia Squad, a very good start.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the very first round being very, very pretty convincing there to the side of Mafia Squad. A very nice opening round. But from what I'm hearing now, apparently there might be a little bit of an issue that needs resolving. Like, I'm not 100% sure what is going on. I guess, yeah, I'm pretty sure now it has to do with some banned skin being used, unfortunately. The Twitch drone. Okay, apparently a Twitch drone skin, which is not allowed within this competition, like in many competitions. But yeah, that's very unfortunate. Twitch Elite skin, as I'm now being told on the drone right there. So that means that the first round needs to be replayed, which also requires a rehost, unfortunately, and also the players to like take a bit of time to actually disable some of the skins. So I guess Pasta would just jump to a little break here, as this will take about maybe like up to 5 minutes, and then we'll be back with the first round of the game once again.
We're back. Round 1 again. It's our 3rd or 4th rehost today, but we're here.
Oh, well, I just hope it's our final rehost as well, because of course we're a little bit delayed. Like, this match could have been finished by now, but yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
Rounds 1 going to be replayed. Of course, we have seen the rounds once before, but it has to be replayed because of skin issues. And the first time it was kind of convincingly won by the side of Mafia Squad. It was a I think they still have 4 members alive, or 3 members alive at least. At the end.
Yeah, there were 3 left. There were 3 left. Because it was a 1v4 and then he killed one and then yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we're now going to see the same thing again. I believe the operators should be the same. I'm not even sure anymore. It's been so long since we have seen.
They are definitely for the defense.
The defense they are. For the attack, I'm not entirely sure. So let's just hope we won't get any issues with that, because officially that is the rule. I'm not 100% sure how it was, but yeah, for the defense it's definitely the same. So I mean, both sides had a chance to learn from the actions as well, and perhaps you might even see minions win this time around. But let's just see how things go.
Yeah, absolutely. So heading into this round again, we see a Twitch. Now this I definitely remember from that previous time around. I definitely don't remember a Grim, but I'm not an admin, so we'll just sort of park that to the side and talk about it later. Now we remember that the Twitch is very, very good at countering this mirror right here. There's 1, there's 2, spotted by Northy. So is going to have to drive that drone away, but does manage to actually get it to safety. This time the shield's here again. The Flores hasn't been able to deal with the shield just yet. There's guns pointed every which way over here. He's just going to send that in to try and bait out the gunfight. What a play by Kane to start things out. That's Tom Fight going down. Now in that previous round, Kane got a triple kill before there was any form of response from the side of minions, this time hoping to do the same or even better perhaps inside of this round. Ghost as well watching this position. Kane's got his work out for him if he wants to repeat those same successes.
Yeah, second drone coming up, potentially going for the shield right now, but last time he used it like perfectly to go for a little bait and distraction to get a very cheeky kill, but this time the drone gets shut out. He's now trying to go to attempt on the kill on the Ella, but Ella gets the kill instead. Finally, minions getting a kill on the board as well. Bring us to a 4 versus 4. Some tricking happening by the Turbo, of course, denying the termites breach from happening, and if TK Eats has a chance to trick it, he might actually be able to destroy the utility. He has none left, however, so he might actually not be planning to do so.
Yeah, possibly just being caught out by the Twitch. Senna as well has been able to spot the feet of Ghost, at least for now, and there comes a swing around the corner as well. This drone providing a lot of information for this attack inside, but it's still a 4v4 as we head into these final 55 seconds of this round. Cerner has been able to get through, and there's another kill. Ghost being felled there inside of Blue. Sanso as well, and it's starting to look like the same result. 1 versus 3. Alex finds 1, but that's all it'll be. Iron shuts it down, and the first round again goes the way of Mafia Squad.
Yeah, so we're basically back at the same point where we were about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, like 15 minutes ago. So, well, it's an 0-1 in the favor.
So worth it.
It was so worth it. But yeah, either way, again, like a protest, skins are forbidden. You have the right to do so. And yes. I mean, yeah, like there's no true shame on that. Like you have all the rights. You just need to make sure that you're like actually obeying the rules and have those skins disabled. That's the most important part. But yeah, in the end, correct. It didn't really help minions in this case, and they will need to look into improving themselves rather than getting rounds by protesting. So hopefully they will be able to find the right ways to actually improve on their setup and on their execution this time, on their defense, to stop Mafia Squad a little bit better.
Or can they do it back down in the basement here? Should have a bit of a better idea on what they want to do, but actually bringing the same lineup again, even though they've been sort of shut down, only getting 2 kills each time we've seen this played. Obviously, in that previous round, they were forced to go with the same lineup just because of the rehost rules, but this time very much had the option to go for something different. They have elected to stay the same. Now, whether that ends up being a good decision, we will have to wait and see for this round to play out. As for Mafia Squad, it looks like it's going to be a very similar story, just cutting themselves through this blue bunker, especially with Kane here on the Flores. And they're just going to be trying to get their way through. There goes the drone. Actually doesn't get the kill. Solo up close is able to shut that one down.
Otherwise, they could have already lost the shield very early on, which would have been a huge loss for the defensive side and a nice win for the attacking side. But of course, Klein is just going to continue and try again and again.
With regular drones this time.
Oh no.
Yeah, just checking it out.
Oh, it was saved by Tubero.
Yeah, but this is going to use up a lot of those ice canisters if he wants to keep this from being exploded. And there you go. There goes the shield. Obviously, you want to be able to save some of those ice canisters for the hatch. And, well, wasting them all on that shield would certainly not be a good idea. Kane's found the first, though, onto Hog Rider. That's still All Might going down. Another EMP goes out. That isn't going to stop the ice, but it will certainly disable those Kaid claws for at least a few more seconds. Cerner with a nade as well, possibly trying to find out Ghost, but instead dodges it. Can't dodge the gun though, and Kane's found a second inside of blue. Alex Northy trying to run. Now he's the last remaining, 10 HP. Sanso's found Tom Fight. It's a flawless round for Mafia Squad. Even better than previously. They march their way on through, and they find 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, things definitely not going well for Minions because technically they have lost 3 rounds, of which 2 count so far. So the basements, which they now have attempted 3 times, doesn't work for them at all, and they need to find something else. For this time, they're going to get Dorm's main hall, which might provide some new opportunities. But with their opponent, who is on the offensive side, already getting 2 points on the boards, they have already done their bare minimum. Or at least bare minimum. No, they're actually already doing well, because a 4-2 split is considered normal for a map like Oregon.
Yes, for sure. You know, considering, like, you even said it earlier, Max. I don't know if you remember, because it was, you know, quite a while ago. The first time we saw that bomb site in round number 1 the first time was that Oregon Basement is often called one of the best maps, not best sites, not even in the map, but one of the best sites in the game.
Yes, at least in the competitive map for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that we see Minions losing there twice is really not a good sign for the rest of their chances. They still have an opportunity to get a 4-2 half, but like you mentioned, the attack really are going to be favoring themselves right now, because you get a 4-2 half on the attack, you're setting yourself up pretty well to at least go to overtime. You could get a 5-1, because the tertiaries aren't necessarily the hardest to defend here on Oregon. However, already being in this position with even some tertiaries already to come your way on the attack, I mean, you're sitting pretty, and defense don't look like they have any momentum, which could help you out even further.
Indeed, so with a new bomb site, hopefully there's a bit of a chance for Minions here to at least get some rounds on the board before things are already starting to get too late. This will be the right moment. Some drones are already being found early on. The drone from Brava, I believe that was, yeah, it was the drone from Brava, was trying to hack some of the utility placed by the defenders, which of course would be a bad thing for them. And with Termite already losing some HP, at least things are starting out better for Minions so far.
Yeah, so far indeed. Look at this angle from Alex as well. All the way from Big Tower looking down, but it's Sanso who finds the first. That's Solo going down on the Valkyrie. 0-3, but really none of the team having an impact in the kills department so far. Another Magnet goes out, taking down that drone. Cerner now being damaged from that position from Alex. There's a great swing. Hog Rider finds a trade, but Sanso with a second. Absolutely tearing apart this defense here on the Brava. And now Iron can start to try and open up this wall yet again. The mute of Tom Fight will be providing a bit of an obstacle to that for now. So we can see Big Tower starting to be pressured by this attack, but Alex had already left, and there's a Frost Mat waiting. It's not quite the death nail that it was in previous seasons, but Kanzi's still going to be in a very bad spot. Low HP, not really able to sprint. It's going to be very tough. Iron, however, does find a trade.
Now, in the 2 versus 4, Minions is in a very, very difficult spot. 50 seconds remaining, which will start working in their favor very soon, but the man count definitely is not. Just 2 members of Minions. We need to find 1 each to equalize the man count, which might be a difficult task, and with the attackers already in such a good position for potential execute or plans, the members of Minions definitely need to keep the guard up, as the members of the attacking side are working their way into the bomb site right now.
go. The final 30 seconds. Alex tries to take some swings. Pressured away by the RCE. Rotero being brought along by the Flores of Kane. And Alex can't line up the shot. Sanzo with one. Tom Fight at least finds it down from long range with the SMG-11. There's a second shotgun out now from close range. It's 1 versus 1. But Kanzi wins it. It could have been a 1v4 from Tom Fight the Mute. But instead, it's another round for Mafia Squad. That got so damn close, Max. Oh my word.
That would have been the clutch of the ages, at least for the stage. And yeah, unfortunately, it didn't work out. Very, very nice attempt from the side of Minions. But again, this also means a round loss for Minions. It's now 0-3 in the favor of the attacking team, which should really only be allowed to get a maximum of 2 rounds. So the attacking team already doing a very, very good job for this match so far. And I mean, I can just only wonder how things will go for them once they go to defense, which should benefit them even further.
Yeah, for sure. So 3 rounds is really the maximum you can allow an attack to have before things start to get very, very dangerous indeed.
Yeah.
Obviously 3-3 is not ideal, but like as soon as the attack starts getting 4, that's when you can pretty much write the map off already. Especially as Minions chose to start on the defense. They're obviously more confident here than they are on the attack. Surely that's why you picked to start on the defense.
Yeah, but of course something interesting just happened during the preparation phase, which is of course one member of Mafia Squad leaving the game. We're not sure what happened. We haven't heard anything from the team so far, so I just assume it's some kind of glitch, some kind of connection issue whatsoever. But this actually means this round will be played in a 5 versus 4. And if Minions is going to win a round, it definitely should be this one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And let's just say Minions aren't necessarily strangers to 4 versus 5 situations in the early stages. I think the first round of Swiss, actually, they actually had to play a game. I think it was here on Oregon in a 4 versus 5. So they'll know what it's like to play 4v5. Hopefully, obviously, this is only 1 round for Mafia Squad if it does happen rather than that entire game. But that's an ill-advised gunfight to take from Ghost. Yeah. Now it's all level in a 4 versus 4 even. Alex up here on Big Tower has been spotted out a bit earlier this time. Iron, in the meantime, has rejoined the lobby, so hopefully no more tech issues after this one. However, with that untraded opening pick, we're all level, Max, in a 4 versus 4.
Yeah, I think we're having a bit of connection issues. I'm not sure whether it's also on the stream, but yeah, well, either way, it's a 4 versus 4 right now where the timer is starting to run down. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, and the attackers are opening up the wall. The walk-in closets now open up, gives the attackers a perfect line of sight and entry point into the bomb site. With still 4 Minions members in play, actually make that 3 Minions members in play as Hawk Rider falls to the side of Kenzie. It's once again the attackers in a good spot around the bomb site and having the man advantage. Which, I mean, puts them in a really good spot to potentially win yet another round. Things not looking great for Minions so far, with us there's still 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining. They will need to find a way to at least get 1 or 2 kills to hope and regain the man advantage. With a 3 versus 4, the attackers are trying to work their way into the bomb site, but Senzo getting a kill on Tom Fight and also solo falling to the hands of one of the players, and then Kenzie with a kill on Alex means we're seeing yet again the Minions team lose another round. And well, this means things are going absolutely terrible even for Minions, as they're now 0-4 down and lost the round in a 5 versus 4, which they definitely should have been able to win. So with this 5 versus 4, with the 5 versus 4 being lost as well, we're now heading to the 5th round of this match. The best Minions can still turn this into is a 2 versus 4, which is not good given they are playing on the defensive side. But, well, we'll just find out whether Minions might even get a single point on the board at all. Going to the same bomb site for the 3rd time. They technically dip at the basement as well. If you count in the replayed rounds, they played 3 times as well and didn't win a single time. Will they be able to win this bomb site for the 3rd time after playing it 3 times, or will they fail yet again?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? It's very, very difficult to see the situation. Obviously, they are switching things up quite a bit. We've got the Capcan coming through. Potential just to try and switch things up. We've seen some Amarus come through from the attack. We've seen a lot of this Gridlock, Flores, Ash, Thermite, Twitch. They're loving this combination for themselves. And why if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I tend to say. As it's I mean it's been going pretty well.
Yeah, it's definitely going very well for the side of Mafia Squad, who's now up 4 points already, and on track on having the momentum to potentially increase the number even further. It's really up to Minions to finally stop that before it's even. I mean, it's too late technically, but even more too late. I'm not even sure how to potentially properly even state it.
That tracks.
Yeah, but yeah, Minions, wake up. It's a BO3, so yes, you will have another chance in the upcoming maps, and this is not your map pack either, but surely we can expect more of Minions on this map so far.
I mean, 3 kills in 4 rounds is hardly great. Now 4 kills in 5 as Solo does find the opener, but Kane also takes down Hog Rider as well, so we're back into a 4 versus 4, and how many times have we seen Mafia Squad win out in these 4v4 situations? They should have spotted out those EDDs as well on the doors, so not much of an issue there. Tomfight is prepping a C4 over the top. That might just catch someone if they're not careful. But the question is, when do you pull that trigger? You're going to have to try and wait for some form of sound cue. There goes the toxic gas. There goes an EMP. At what time do you throw it? Well, it's then it gets caught on the ceiling. No, that's not what you want to happen. Wasted utility, and that just sums up the evening that Minions are having at the minute. But it is still a 4 versus 4. The time is still ticking down. The sand falling through the hourglass little by little. And there's a kill. Ghost with a frag. Brings it into the favor of Minions. The Rotero will force him out from that position. Tomfight's trying to take a long angle gunfight as well with the SMG. And Cerna's traded up 3 versus 3. It's now or never for the attack inside. Mafia Squad are going to have to try and get something, and Solo has heard the one in pain. What a shot to take. But Tomfight as well, and Alex Northey has that positioning gained. Kane now in a 1 versus 2, doesn't have Case, doesn't have any teammates left alive, has to just try and take this with gun skill, and gun skill alone. Takes the first swing, flashbang out, Tomfight wins it, and Minions at least have something on the board.
Yeah, and it's finally the first round being won by Minions. A little bit late, I mean, way too late, but at least it's still happening. A 1-4 score, which potentially could still be turned into a 2-4 score, which is, again, not good for Minions, but still provides some opportunity. I mean, if Mafia Squad can do so well on the offense, then there's also a chance for Minions to do the same thing on the offense as well. So this final round of the first half, we'll see it happen now. We're going back to that basement, which was played 3 times technically, 2 times the count by Minions, and another single time they have managed to win it. So will they be able to win it the 3rd or technically 4th time, or will they lose it yet one more time?
I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but honestly, a 2-4 half here for Minions would seem like a bit of a swindle, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, especially since it's the last 2 rounds of the half in a row, you're coming into your attack inside with at least some momentum. And maybe it's just a trend. Maybe the attack is just favored inside of this game, and winning those 2 rounds actually sets you up in pretty good stead to take a hold of your own destiny inside of the game.
I mean, we have seen various times that suddenly the expected round wins, the favors are changing completely, where defensive map becomes attacking favorite and the other way around. So there's definitely some possibility still. It's still too early to say it's over for Minions. This is the chance to at least make it to 2-4, which is workable for the second half of the round. But let's see. If they at least manage to stay alive a little bit longer, don't get opening killed, and get opening kills instead. Don't get over-aggressive. Don't make stupid mistakes like they have been doing. And then perhaps they do have a chance to still win this match.
Yeah, Alex just bringing the clash there to stop those bullets coming through from the attack inside. You can see it's putting a bit of a spanner in the works. Now Alex is going for the gunfight. Wrong decision yet again from this minion side. They get too aggressive and they pay for it. Kane has been on a tear today. And Alex Norvey with the ill-advised gunfight there.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
No, exactly what we're just mentioning. Stupid mistakes, aggressiveness that shouldn't be happening, but still happens. I mean, Minions is known for being an aggressive team. That's how Minions always has been, even though after all the role swaps, they're still like that. And it definitely is not working in their favor this time. It has worked many times in the favor, but today it's definitely working in favor of Mafia Squad, who's perfectly reading into it and exploiting it.
Doing a very good job of reading and exploiting it. And there comes another one of those ice canisters. Still one left in the pocket. Hog Rider's found a lovely shot into Cerna. Iron trying to open up this hatch, but there's Hog Rider with a second. Suddenly, Minions starting to find their feet a little bit here. Hog Rider still inside a pillar as well. Could cause a bit of a problem for them. Iron's taking the gunfight now. Does a bit of damage to the Wamai, who's able to dip away to a safer position. Takes another gunfight. Just really gunning for it and taking down Iron as well. Does get traded. And there's Fulo, another kill. It's now a triple for Kane instead. Both of those players with 3. There's Tom Fight, savior of a couple rounds ago. Yeah. Now it's just on Kane. It'll have to be an ace or it's all for naught. And so low HP. It does not look very likely. 25 seconds. Again, no case. That's surrendered about another floor away. Just trying to poke and prod his way round. Having to face check, doesn't have any drones, doesn't have any information on where these last 2 players are. The pre-fire will give a bit of a clue. Out goes the Vault, but does he check this close corner? Ghost is there, takes the swing, takes the gunfight, takes the round for Minions, and they have that 2-4 half.
Actually, 2-4, very normal scoreline for Map of Oregon if the roles would have been switched, of course. So 2-4, I mean, yeah, like the best that Minions could really do after what we have seen, after them being like so dramatic on those first 4 rounds, they at least managed to win those final 2 rounds of the first half. And now that they will be playing on the offensive side, I mean, aggressiveness is what we have seen from Minions, which didn't work out on the defense, but aggressiveness should work out a little bit better on the offensive side, where that's just a bit more natural. So potentially, Minions going to do a little bit better on the offensive side.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hey, if this map has shown me anything so far, then maybe the attack might be a good idea after all. Minions have only won once on the top floor, once on the basement. We didn't actually see a tertiary bomb site all game, Max, so far. Which is quite strange to see.
Yeah, that's also why I was surprised that Minions actually went for the same bomb site so many times. I mean, they have done the top floor 3 times, basement 3 times, 4 if you include the one before the rehost. I mean, there's 2 other bomb sites. Yes, those are not as favorable as the other 2. There's definitely a pretty big gap between them. And teams definitely tend to save it as their 3rd map. But not going there at all after you lose a certain bomb site 2 or more times, it's just a bit questionable.
Yeah, for sure. Even if, you know, just a bit of a change of scenery, a bit of a change of pace can sort of help you get into things. And that's sort of what we saw in that round 5 and 6. Minions starting to control the pace of the game a little bit more. And they were able to come across the line with those 2 rounds. Now, only a 2-round deficit when considering the start that Mafia Squad had. Again, not necessarily the worst outcomes. It could have been a 6-0 half. Oh, Hog Rider nearly taking a lot of damage there. I think that actually downs you if you fall from that height. So very well just to grab onto the ladder at the last minute, because I got a little bit nervous. I don't know about you, Max.
That would have definitely been a very unfortunate way to start the round for Minions, but at least damage spared, all members still alive, and the first minute expired. I think the members of Minions likely getting the first bit of control, made their way into the building, potentially opening up some of those hatches already, as Grim did use one of his Harbinger utility. So likely the pressure will now be onto the bomb site, where pretty much every single defender is playing -1 as Klein loses his life.
A lovely shot from Hog Rider, now causing more trouble on these back stairs. Just watching for the swing up, but Cerna is a little bit ahead of the curve in that gunfight. Alex now with the Grim, sending in the Bees. Cern has found a double, though, for the defense. Traded out by Solo. Iron is there for the trade. Alex is going to try and take this gunfight, wins it, trades out again. 2 versus 2 now for this defending and the attack inside, technically. Sanso, is he watching the right way? Oh, he had the pings, but didn't quite have the gunfight. Now it's another 1 versus 2 for a member of Mafia Squad for the 3rd round in a row, and Minions might get their 3rd round in a row, and indeed they do. Tom fight with a long-range shot, 2x scope on the L85, and that's a way to win it out. And that's Minions now within 1.
Yeah, aggressiveness finally paying off for the side of Minions. Of course, the attacking side is way better suitable for those kind of plays. And I mean, the first round pays off. It's a 3-4 score right now. They're only 1 round behind an opponent. Yet, of course, the opponent is still on the defense, which should benefit them. But at least the score is 1 round away for being equalized, which is already at least a bit more positivity and hopeful situation for Minions. So yeah, with the 3-4 score, it's now up to the members of Mafia Squads to go for the same bomb site one more time. I mean, that's something that Minions has done various times so far, and they didn't always succeed on retrying the same bomb site. But now it's up to the side of Mafia Squad to learn from the mistakes, prepare a little better for the aggressive attacking players of Minions, to prepare a way to just refract a little bit more, stay alive a bit longer, stop them in the tracks, slow down their momentum, and then perhaps Mafia Squad might be able to stop Minions for this 2nd offensive round for them.
That'd certainly be nice, wouldn't it? If they're able to get this one on the board. Obviously, I kind of just don't want to see the same mistakes being made, to be honest with you, Max. I feel like if we just keep getting just defenders not being able to defend bomb sites correctly and, you know, getting too aggressive and just the same sort of mistakes again and again, it will make me quite upset, to be honest, because you'd think, considering Mafia Squad were able to exploit those weaknesses when they were on the attack themselves, that they would be not making the same mistakes. That seems like a logical step, but you know, it doesn't quite seem to be happening here inside of this game. And as we can see, we've got some more of this utility coming through from the defense, and it's a bit of a slower round this time. We've got Hog Rider on the Maverick to try and counter any of the help ability that this Tuberal brings. Instead, he's just going to be looking up through these holes, actually, to try and find a gunfight. And yeah, this torch is going to get iced out, so it will just take a little bit longer to activate, but he's just going to sit there, wait for that to die down, and get going again. It's a bit of a cat and mouse game, this. And the Twitch drone actually shocks out the ice canister. Very nice interaction.
Yeah, so with the rounds even like starting fairly slow, I mean, the attackers are already having some pretty nice control, are trying to peel away some of the defensive players, but at the same time, the defenders are stalling them quite a lot for now. Notice, I mean, just a little bit of damage dealt on Alex, which was from the Electric Claw on the hedge, which was trying to open, but now finally Iron getting that first kill on the board, taking out Solo, the Flores, who likely still had 1 or 2 drones in the pocket, now lost unfortunately, and the man count gained by the defensive side.
Although I have to say, I'm not necessarily sure if I'm too big of a fan of that swing coming through from Iron, because, you know, we talked about Dean's defense getting aggressive. That's a much better gunfight to take, making advantage of those difficult angles for the attack, making use of some sort of one-way sight lines. But there's Ghost with it first. There's a brilliant kill. Sansa with a C4. Cerna's down underneath the stairs. A Ghost pushing on in. The bees aren't going to damage you, my friend. Hog Rider does find the collection there onto Cerna as well. 2 versus 3. The defense doing a good job of holding on for now, but still 30 seconds left. Hog Rider on the cam now punches it out, trying to see their way through. Ghost shut down, another explosive kill. And it's Hog Rider in a 1 versus 3. Has the ping, but doesn't quite land the shots. Kanzi is able to win the gunfight somehow on such low HP. Just dipping and weaving all over the shop, and gets the first basement round, the first defensive round even.
Yeah.
For Mafia Squad. And I mean, it's good for them that they did, because it didn't come in the final moments of the half. They've actually won a round in good time.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Mafia Squad already doing better on the defense compared to Minions, or at least earlier than Minions did.
Yes.
And with Minions only winning one attacking round so far, they now lost their second one. And again, Mafia Squad has now increased the point advantage that they have by 2 rounds again. And it's really up to Minions to start winning rounds once more to potentially still bring this map to a 5-5. Because if Mafia Squad wins one more round, they will already be on map points for the first map of today.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a map pick, so you'd expect them to do well, but it's the manner in which that they're winning these rounds and sort of the manner in which they're trending to win the map is the bit that worries me. Minions haven't really got off the starting blocks, it seems like. Which makes me know, because we were bigging this up to be a fairly close game, and it's looked pretty much in the hands of the attackers this whole time, but we saw some adaptation, we saw some better strategy coming through from Mafia Squad, and that adaptation came in so early in the half. They've identified a mistake and actually corrected it, and it didn't take until the 5th round of the half to do so.
Yeah, so right now we're going to a different bomb site where Minions is going to be the attacking team, and yet again they are losing their first member very early on. Once again, it's Solo, this time playing on the run. I think it was from the window of games. But yeah, that's again the first attacking player lost before she could even have any impact on the game whatsoever. So 4 versus 5, this is how the rounds will continue, with still 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. So enough time for the attackers to at least get 1 kill, even out the man count, get some proper control over the map, and still make this round work. And with everyone closing up the rotation right behind him towards the big tower, he's just strengthening the defensive setup a little bit further.
You can see the attack still paying attention to big tower. These Fenrir, the FNAP dread mines from the Fenrir as well. Very, very powerful. Hog Rider, though, doesn't need any eyesight. Instead, just takes the gunfight and takes the kill there. ADS does take out one of those Ash charges, but still trying to send in the utility to take down this grenade, and it's just still not working for them. I think, was that the other Ash charge as well? It was. They don't have any grenades left either. No Selma charges. Now Hog Rider's dead. Tried to rush on in through the breach and taken down, punished for that aggressive action. And the shield still stands inside of Attic.
Yeah, but the 3 versus 4 this round now will continue as we are approaching that final minute. Alex evening out the man count as he finds a kill there on Iron, but still 3 versus 3 with 1 minute. This is still provides some opportunity for the attacking team. However, they barely have any utility left. Like there's a hard breaching, there's some breaching charges which are now lost as well as Alex gets 1 tap, and Tom Fight also losing his life by being headshot. It's all come down to Ghost Samurai with 1 Twitch run still in the pocket, but getting found by Kayan. It's yeah, yet another round going to the side of Mafia Squad, putting themselves on map points as they now have 6 points on the board, a 3 versus 6.
That's disgusting. Those shots were absolutely filthy. I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and even more ridiculous is like, yeah, the score right now, 3-6 with, yeah, right now the defensive side of Mafia Squad definitely working out for them as well in a good way. So I can imagine this match might be over, or this map might be over fairly soon, as it's now Mafia Squad on the map points, only needing 1 more point. The only positive thing for this upcoming round, at least for Minions, is that their opponent is going to a lesser favorable bomb site where Minions might have some opportunity. But given how Minions has been doing so far, my expectations have been lowered quite a bit for them for at least this map. Of course, Minions will have a perfect opportunity to work things out for the upcoming map or maps. But for this map, things are definitely not looking good for them.
Absolutely. Obviously, Cafe Dostoevsky will be a very different beast indeed. Yes. That's obviously something that we need to talk about after this game concludes. As for now, round 10 of Oregon, Kane on the castle, which is not uncommon on these sort of kitchen sites. 11 kills and 4 deaths is doing a very good job as well. That's not obviously Kane's been doing some pretty big stuff, but honestly the entire team has been doing well. I was about to talk about Sandzone, has given me another reason to do so. Opening pick of the game, now finding double digits as well alongside the teammates of Kane and Cerna. Everyone really pulling their weight here in big moments for the side of Mafia Squad. Minions can't say the same, but Iron does get felled there by Alex Northy. Is he going to be able to actually find a secure on the kill? They know where this player is. They could just let him bleed out, but it's still information that can be relayed to the other defenders should he be able to gather anything. And there we go. There's a collection now just on cam duty for Iron.
So with the 4 versus 4, this round will go on. Both sides suffered 1 casualty and also at least have 1 member suffering quite a bit of HP loss, but with Senzo getting another kill on Hook Rider with DC4 from, I believe, below. It's Minions once again losing. I mean, it's Mafia Squad gaining the man advantage, but a second C4 coming from below, just as deadly as Nate's were before. It's Alex losing his life as well. Solo getting in a very tricky gunfight, barely making it, but getting at least a kill. But then it's a Sen with a kill there on Tom, leaving Solo very low in HP in a 1 versus 3. Yes, time is working in his advantage, and he does have quite a bit of utility, but he cannot afford to be hit by a single bullet, or potentially not even a bit of the electricity of the bandit battery that would potentially be fatal.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a 1v3 to try and keep the map alive, but instead it's over. Kane with the final kill there. 7 rounds to 3. Mafia Squad statement win on Oregon, as we do see that final scoreline on your screen right now. I mean, what a map, and Mafia Squad go 1 up in the series.
Yeah, that's Mafia Squad winning the very first map of today. I mean, after the 4th round, it almost already seemed likely, and that has now been confirmed. This was going to be the map for Mafia Squads. It was almost impossible for Minions to make the comeback happen, which they indeed didn't. But now, of course, all eyes will be focused on the next map. But before, of course, we go to the next map, let's just quickly talk a little bit more about how this first map went for either of the 2 teams and what this might mean for Cafe. Because like you already said before, Cafe is a very different map.
Yeah, absolutely. In a word, dominant from Mafia Squad. I mean, there was I don't really know what to say. It was just very, very dominant by Mafia Squad. Yeah, sure, they let those final 2 rounds of the first half slip, but you're attacking on Oregon. You kind of expected to lose rounds on basement and top floor. And the fact that they didn't for the other 4 rounds in that half, yes, sure, they let the basement slip, but then they adapted. They made a change. And after that point, they just got 3 rounds in a row again. Very, very, very simple. Just if you lose, change how you play, then you win. Pretty simple.
Yeah, indeed. And the next map coming up, like we said, Café Dostoevsky is going to provide some new opportunities for either teams. A bit of a fresh start, of course, with still Mafia Squad already having that first map point on the boards. But Minion Squad also have now a bit of a break to just talk through strategies, find out what has been going wrong, do a bit of a pep talk to make the team perform better. And perhaps Café Dostoevsky a map that also does favor a little bit of aggressiveness. But at the same time, it's also quite a difficult map. It will just be a big question on how this will go for either of the 2 teams, and we'll find out after the break in about 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere. Just grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll see each other very soon. And welcome back. After a short break, we're back here for the second map. We'll start in a short moment for now. Of course, we already spoke a bit about how the first map went and what the next map is going to be. But again, of course, if you missed it, Oregon was not starting out too well for Minions. Ended with a half of a 2-4 in the favor of Mafia Squad, and that was won by Mafia Squad with a 7-3 score in total. Which now brings us to Cafe.
Yeah, Minions pick a bit of a surprise as well to us here in the production team. We weren't necessarily expecting this. We were expecting Clubhouse to come out. Obviously, that ended up being our decider, but we thought Minions would pick Clubhouse, and that didn't happen. Instead, Cafe Dostoevsky, I don't know if you still have the stats up, Max, about how that's gone for them. I'll stall for just a second while you go to find those.
Right up here.
Because let's just talk about Oregon a little bit again. It didn't go great for Minions, that's certainly for sure. For Mafia Squad, though, I mean, they looked incredible. They were adapting very, very well to what the side of Minions was putting out in front of them. They very much outpaced them, and they just had some incredible shots as well to go along with it. So that all kind of combined to be a perfect storm. 7-3 on their own map pick, and now they have the choice, and they've obviously chosen to start on the defense here in Cafe, the natural choice.
Yeah, so you just asked me to take a look on how this map was played before. It was played on the 10th, am I saying that correctly? And it's the 10th of December. So that's only 10 days ago, which were at the RBS finals of Season 2. So very short time ago, these were played as part of a BO5 played by these two teams, and that BO3 and the map was played by Minions. It was a 7-3 in their favor. So that definitely tells us that Cafe Dostoevsky might be a pretty good map for Minions here. Of course, they will be starting on the bit more difficult side, which is going to be the attack, but at least the map went well for them before. And what I want to add...
We said that about Oregon, though, didn't we?
We went,
they're starting on the difficult side on the attack. And then,
yes.
Well, we'll talk about, obviously, Mafia Squad. That time, they absolutely walloped Minions with 4 rounds in a row. So, who knows what's going to happen.
But what I want to add to that, if Minions manage to win this map, Cafe Dostoevsky, of course, then the map score will be 1-1. And then things get very interesting, because we were speaking about how well Clubhouse is for Minions. It was played once before between the two teams, and it was a win by Minions. But if we even look at Minions in general, it's a very, very good map for them, with a 66% win rate for the past 3 months. So, yeah, like I said, if Cafe Dostoevsky gets won by Minions, which of course we'll see soon, if it gets won, then this match between these two teams will be getting very, very spicy. We'll find out soon, because Cafe is about to start, I believe. It will be a difficult map for either of the two teams. And I actually find it hard to say in whose favor it is. Statistically, looking back at things,
we don't see a lot of Cafe really these days, do we?
So true.
We've only seen it 8 times throughout the whole competition. That's the group stage and here in the Swiss, and this is only the second time, I believe, it's been played in Swiss. But over the 71 rounds we've seen so far, it's pretty much 50-50. So again, it could be anyone's game. Like 34 rounds to 37 rounds. There's not much to separate that whatsoever. It's so close. It's almost a knife's edge, and it could come down again, like we said on Oregon, to just which team has the better fundamentals, and crucially, which team has the better gun skill.
Yeah, and talking about fundamentals and gun skill, well, that's the only thing we can potentially draw a conclusion from the first map, because of course those two things were in the favor of Mafia Squads. Minions, it might not have been the best map, but they just weren't playing well. It's not what we should expect from Minions, who are even the champion of the last season. Minions really underperforming on their first map, not showing us what we can should be expecting from them. And I just hope that they will be able to find a way to counter those problems, whatever they were having, whatever was the cause of those problems. I hope they were able to find it out and find a way to actually do better this time, because they're going to need it.
Yeah, it's not a great way to see a team go out either, as if it's still sort of a bit of a crash and burn. You know, you want to see them put up a close fight, and we didn't really have that on Oregon. So yeah, again, looking towards Cafe, that's where we have to hope, for Minion's sake, and also just the sake of stream quality, that we get a bit of a closer affair, even if it's, an 8-7. If they go out swinging, that'll at least make me a little bit happy. As much as it's bittersweet, you don't want to see a team just get absolutely walloped.
Yeah. And of course, we also have seen the beautiful montage made by Latesy, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but yeah, which we have seen of the 4th week of the Swiss stage. Another video is being made for this 5th and final week of the Swiss stage. So giving us 3 maps would be perfect, of course, to give us loads of content for yet another montage. So again, huge shout out to him for the first video, and I'm very excited to see the second one. The sneak peek already looks very, very good. But yeah, let's just hope that we will indeed get some better content for this second and potentially for a third map, so we can make a nice little montage for you guys. I believe we will start any second now.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's fingers crossed. Let's hope that things go well. No rehosts whatsoever. This will be a normal map. And yes, indeed, it's starting out right now, so we can finally jump into the second map of today. Quite late, given it's already almost 9 here and 8 in the UK. So
who would live there? That sounds really dumb.
Sorry?
Who would live in the UK? That sounds really stupid.
Yeah.
I can't imagine who would do that.
No, I have no clue either.
Anyway, bit of a crash, but hopefully we can get them back in the lobby before, because we don't like to see any more pauses happen. We've already rated long enough for the second map, and I'm just going to throw it out there. We're probably going to see a Ying ban. She's the most banned attacker. Instead, it's a Flores that comes through. I mean, there's still a chance that Ying gets banned anyway. Again, she's been banned over half of the time. Let me see. Yeah, almost 60%. That's almost 3/5 of the time Ying gets taken away from us, because she's just a nuisance to deal with, and can be, especially here on Cafe Dostoevsky. If you're trying to attack, or if you're trying to defend that top floor, there you go. Ying can make your life hell from the skylights, from the hatches, from the rappels. You just don't want to deal with that.
No, definitely not. Ying is an absolute pain in the ass for either of the two teams, of course. Minions was starting on the defensive side because it could definitely have benefited them, but they just don't want to deal with it once they switch to the defensive side after the 6th round is finished. This is followed by another very common ban, which is Solace. I mean, I think that's the most defense banned operator, if not the most banned operator in general. But yeah, that's again another very expected one. Yeah, 68%. For Solace, that's 65 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy.
And then there's Fenrir, so the top 2 defenders to be banned away. I'm pretty sure I indeed hit the chopping block here inside of this one. Obviously, we had Azami banned out on that first map.
Yeah.
But yeah, Solace is even like the 68% ban rate for Solace is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around that. That's 2/3 almost.
Yeah. But the thing is, this leaves us with very interesting operators who sometimes also get banned on a map like this, which are Mira and Valkyrie. Valkyrie immediately being picked, so we're definitely going to see her in action, and both actually Mira as well. So both of those two, which I was just mentioning, being picked, quite effective operators on a map like Cafe. And I'm very curious to see them in action.
We'll have to see what kind of setup we see coming through here as well, because this barback storage is actually undergoing a bit of a shift. We often like to see teams nowadays open this up fully, and actually Kanzi's opening this. It's full open plan living here on the top floor of Cafe.
Yeah, good luck with
all the way through.
Yeah, good luck with pushing that area, minions. Definitely some very long line of sights, which are going to be very difficult, especially with the mirrors pointing in the direction. Of course, the attacking side will have some better scopes that will benefit those long angles, but even not, it will be very difficult to push piano nonetheless.
Absolutely, indeed it will. Obviously, though, it does also make it quite difficult to defend, because attack can also use those angles against you. That's something that we need to be aware of, and that this defensive side of Mafia Squad need to be aware of. They can't just stick their head out of lines of sight willy-nilly, because that is a surefire way to make sure that you get your head locked clean off. But instead, that's not happening. Oh, okay, that's very terrifying. And the C4 actually finds the kill. Sand zone, that's like you mentioned, Max. The ace gone as well. Hard breach utility out the window, just waiting for the hatch to be prepped above. Had the nitro cell ready and finds the opening kill. Perfectly played. And now that allows minions. Minions are getting very aggressive actually. Ghost is so far up.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is the Mafia Squad already opened up quite a bit of the freezer and left the walls quite vulnerable. So, of course, with the ace being lost, it's not too big of a deal. Like, they can still use the Ash, for example, to open up some of those walls and still create a nice entry points. So the ace wasn't the most important operator, but would have been very useful to deal with some other walls, create some new rotations, for example, here on top of red, and deal with some mirror windows. And that, of course, will no longer be possible.
Do they know about the flank, though? That's the question. You can see the outline down below. low. I don't know if they have a drone watching this. Hog Rider certainly didn't seem too worried about that possibility, but there's Sanzo. They had absolutely no idea. Triple kill for the Valkyrie, make it a quad, in fact. Tearing apart this attack inside of minions. It's just Solo left. Peek in the hatch. Sanzo's in the right area, but Solo shuts down. No ace today, but still it has to be a 1v5 for this attacking IQ, and doesn't know Cerna's position. One around to take for Mafia Squad, and all on the back of Sanzo.
Yeah, not the opening round Minions was looking for, because of course having that opening round for the side of Minions would have been at least some positivity, some momentum, some morale boost they could have really used after losing that first match, first map. And then starting out this first round of the second map and being absolutely destroyed like this is not going to go well for Minions.
At least it wasn't a flawless round, I guess.
Yes.
I guess. I mean, there's some solace you can take in that, but I mean, 1v5 is hardly a good scenario.
Yeah, I think one person, no, two members lost their life outside of the building. I think one was on the window, and one was like with a C4 kill.
Yeah.
So those are really like if you get killed without even entering the building, that just hurts.
What can minions change then? They obviously, the bomb site's going to change. The attack and the defending side, win. They can't go there again. Instead, we head down to this kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm seeing an Amaru being brought by Solo. Potentially very quick access to the roof / the top floor. That's generally what you tend to see. Gonna expedite that roam clear, make it so you can get in very quickly. You have the Dokkaebi as well for the roam clear, Ram as well for the vertical, and Buck, and then obviously Twitch just for dealing with the utility. You can also use Ram for that as well. And there's possibly some gun sixes and shotguns on side as well, just to really have a well-rounded attacking composition here, Max.
Yeah, attack is definitely going for top to bottom clear, which is a very common way to approach a building like Café Dostoevsky. I mean, there's so many floors, so big, the floors are so big as well, and if you don't clear them, there's of course always the risk that you will have any flankers. Once you have secured those floors, you will also have the opportunity, for example, for Buck Alex, who's now entering upstairs. Of course, you use the underbarrel skeleton key to open up some of the verticality to make it a living nightmare to play on sides. We already hear C4s coming out as a response, which of course did not hit the targets. And playing on site is going to be quite tricky for the side of Mafia Squad now.
Especially with Tom Fight playing the Ram as well. Those boogie drones are going to be tearing up this floor. And Alex, does he spot the run of that defender? Yes, Sanzo, hero of the previous round, opening death here in round number 2. There's Alex with that opening pick, uses a skeleton key. Not just for floor destruction, but player destruction as well. And Cerna nearly finding himself taken down as well. Just those tight angles through the bars could have been very, very dangerous.
Round starting out much better here for the side of Minions. Gon 6 might actually pop the Goyoken, but unfortunately gets saved by the Jaeger ADS. It would have been a beautiful kill there on the Azami, who would have definitely lost a life right then, but at least Alex finds another kill there on Kenzie. Brings us to a 5 versus 3, where Solomon wants to kill an Iron, and at least all 2 members left on site. Kane with the kill there on Ghost. 4 versus 3, still in the favor of Minions, but with 55 seconds, they need to make that move towards the bomb side. But if they lose the round, lives like this, they need to be very careful. But Solo finally shuts him down, and it's all coming down to the very low HP Azami playing on sides and getting called out by the logical.
Yeah, the flashbangs come on through as well. It's hardly going to be a winnable situation. Players watching from all angles. You can see Solo inside a bakery as well. Alex runs in, tries to get the plant down, and there's the cutoff from Solaneri to shut it down. Good round there from Minions to bring things back for themselves. And to be honest, there was just a bit of a lack of awareness from Mafia Squad about the danger that the vertical would play.
Yeah, they definitely decided to leave the top floor to what it is. Like, they didn't have any presence there whatsoever. So basically gave it away for free.
And you saw the kill onto Cerna as well. The entire floor was opened up above them, and they just wandered into the sightlines without even looking above them. Just assumed that it was safe or it wouldn't be watched. And obviously, Alex Northey is up there on the butt. Of course they're going to be watching through those vertical holes. Of course they're going to be able to catch you out on it. it just doesn't seem like they really paid attention to the top floor, which is exactly what you want to be paying attention to on a kitchen defense.
Yeah, those holes are not being created for ventilation for the room below. Of course, they are being watched. And yeah, of course, that's something that the members of Mafia Squad failed to account for. So now, again, they will get a second chance to go to the same bomb site, the one they just lost in the hands of minions. And I'm curious to see what kind of adjustments we will see. Because in terms of lineup, are we seeing much of an improvement or difference? I don't think so, right? No, I don't think we do. No.
It's certainly pretty similar, that's for sure.
Maybe the Wamai. I'm just not 100% sure about the Wamai if he was there last time.
Yeah, I think... no, because Sansa was on the Goyo last time, obviously.
Yeah, that was the one indeed.
So no, Solo is switched up from an Amaru to a Jackal instead now as well. So we're seeing some shifts being made in both the attack and the defense.
Yeah, I mean, again, I believe, there's not a single roamer on the board this time around, so the Jackal will make very quick work of finding out that that is indeed the case. So I assume that the attackers will be like on the doorstep very soon, and the Buck will be opening up the floor very, very quickly, which will give minions even more time than previous time to actually put a lot of pressure onto the bomb site itself.
Yeah, we can see again. Not much care shown to this top floor. All 5 players on this ground floor, 4 of them sitting in the bomb site. Again, not necessarily a fan of that because, like you mentioned, it allows so much time and control to be given to this attack to set themselves up. They're going to be opening up these vertical angles yet again. Maybe they're hoping they can get a bit luckier with the C4s this time around, but no, Alex Northey again is able to get away from those nitro cells down below. Ooh. But not that one. Kane does find the kill onto the Buck. That's what you want, an opening pick for the defense. But was it necessarily a reliable strategy? I don't think so. They got off. They got. It's a bit of a let-off for the defense here because, again, I'm not entirely sure whether you can count yourselves on this. Using those impact grenades as well just to counter those boogie drones from above is definitely some good play. I like that from Sanzo, but again, defense, I'm still asking some questions.
And the hole, of course, is there, but at least it's way smaller than it could have been. With also the B nades coming out, it's going for the go for the hatch breach. It might have been attempted to trick, but I don't think it worked. It's going also it gets damaged quite a bit as well. Actually, they did. Of course, Tubero is in play, which can easily help the K8s to deny the hatch breach quite longer. But as Hawk Rider relocates himself very, very smartly, he finds those electric claws, destroys both of them, and also a kill happened there onto the Zami. Another kill from Kenzie onto Solo, and Iron onto Ghost leaves only 2 members of minions left standing in the 2 versus 4.
Only 20 seconds left to play as well. Kanzi has been felled there by Hog Rider, but the push onto the site unsuccessful. Sanzo with a shutdown there. Tom Fight now has to take these angles as we head into red time. Iron takes a swing. It's a little bit whiffy from both players, but the Jaeger comes out on top. Defense with their round advantage restored yet again. It's 2 rounds to 1.
Yeah, and I must say, with the even with the opening kill in favor of Mafia Squad, I did not expect the round to go so south for minions. Like, with the top control they had, the verticality made, they still were able to put quite a bit of pressure, relocate themselves to the doorstep of the bomb site quite well as well. But yet, like, somehow Mafia Squad suddenly got so many kills on the board. I think it was 2 or 3 in a very short moment of time, which definitely turns the favors to their side.
Yeah, top floor again. I mean, if Sanzo can pull off the same heroics that he did in round number 1, then you'd almost be back in Mafia Squad to get 3-1 up here, right? I mean, if minions aren't watching their flanks this round, then I might have to say that they are being a bit silly.
Yeah, well, Nomad on Alex might definitely help with that, of course. Nomad's air jets are not invulnerable. They do still have their weaknesses. They are not waterproof, so they will still need to be very careful, but it's definitely going to be helpful in their favor. So, yeah, let's see how minions will do for the second time they will be attacking this bomb site, whether they will be able to stay alive longer and expect to see Portrait from Zenso, or potentially even take him out as opening kill. We'll see soon as the members of minions are now climbing the building.
And they might even be able to find an opening pick this time, potentially. Obviously, we saw Sanso with that C4 kill in round number 1. You have to say that minions probably aren't going to get caught out by that again. And indeed, yeah, making sure they get very far away from the hatch before actually bursting that open this time around. Because yeah, you certainly don't want to die to that. You don't want to die to it 2 times in a row. That's just even worse.
Well, this time also the ace who was opening killed the very first round of this match is now, of course, staying alive as well. So also he can finally impact this match, open up the red wall to create a nice new rotation, really an entry point into Sigil Lounge. Nades are not going to be drawn. The ADSs are being burnt. Nades hits the target, but it's 1 kill coming out from the Warden onto the player. Actually, the shield somehow actually managed to survive. Nade being thrown too far back. And that's a very unfortunate round for minions, but is immediately made right a little bit as Solo gets a kill there onto the Warden.
Yeah, absolutely. Into a 4 versus 4 for the second half of the round. Solo with that first kill, possibility to find even more, using that gadget as well to spot out the electronic utility that the defenders are bringing along, can provide some good information, enable the attackers to isolate defensive positions and tailor their push to the correct setup. But Kanzi is there with a kill instead. The Vector obviously doesn't show up on that IQ scanner, and well, now Hog Rider isn't going to show up for the rest of this round. Taken down, and with only 50 seconds, the attack starting to look a little bit pulled thin in a 3 versus 4 max.
A 3 versus 4 with Solo still alive, the top fragger for the side of minions so far. So if someone is expected to get kills, it might be him. He does do quite a bit of damage there onto Senzo by popping one of those. I thought it was a Goyo cancel, but of course they don't even have those. But in the end, it's Alex losing the life to Senzo. A 2 versus 4, 1 versus 4, a Solo also falls. And now it's all coming out to top fight. The person was opening killed in the first round. Now it's the last man standing, but also doesn't stand a chance as he again dies to the hands of Senzo, this time by a headshot.
Only 3 kills this time. Fraud.
Yes, that's way worse than the first round.
Yeah, 1 kill worse than the first round.
His performance is definitely declining.
Yeah. I mean, even still, a 3K is just ridiculous. Clearly likes playing this top floor. Valkyrie is his operator, it seems.
Yeah, Valkyrie is, he's been very, very successful for the team so far. He's by far the top fragger on the team, like even double the points off lane. Like even if you total the top 3 fraggers of the team, you still don't match the amount of kills on the side of Senzo.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
They're doing quite well. It stands to reason.
Yeah, but also puts the members of Mafia Squad, of course, in a quite vulnerable situation. Because, of course, if Senzo gets taken out, especially early in the round, then suddenly the other members of Mafia Squad do need to put up quite a bit more effort to actually still have a chance to win. Because, yeah, that top fragger will be gone. And that's definitely a thing to look out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And instead of the kitchen, obviously they can't go there. They've gone for this mid 4, which means we are getting to see a defensive side play 3 bomb sites, which we didn't get to see really on Oregon. We saw 1 tertiary site in the entire map and all of those 10 rounds, and it was the final round. This time, well, we might see it more than once, perhaps. Inside of this game, which is certainly very exciting, and this one lends to a lot of the strengths that this defense have, which is primarily holding on to this top floor.
Holding this top floor is going to be extremely valuable to either team because, of course, whoever controls it controls reading as well from above. Actually, completely ignoring this very common position of the Warden. Like, he has been droned, the shield is there, so somehow that information wasn't relayed to him or not received by him. And that was a grave mistake there of Ghost indeed. The 4 versus 5 with at least a deployable shield out taken care of, but much more positive there's not to say about minions so far.
Yeah, Cerna, I mean, might not be tempted to play in the same position, but equally could still just tuck in close on the corner, still provide some utility. No, indeed has fallen back to the cocktail bar. Just going to be holding a bit of a further line longer angle, obviously. The Warden MPX does still have some pretty good optics. Is still able to get some pretty nice shots from long range. This isn't necessarily the biggest map across. Obviously, a lot of the size of Cafe Dostoevsky comes from its verticality.
Yes, indeed. And with more than half of the round expired, the members of Minions have quite a big task ahead. A bit of a gunfight here, both sides suffering quite a bit of HP loss, but both still managing to stay alive, but still the man count in the favor of the side of Mafia Squad. Well, the final minutes now starting, and Minions, they need to get some control. And as Alex unfortunately gets taken out by the C4 of Kenzie, things are again not working in their favor. Tom fights with a kill on Kenzie, brings us to the 3 versus 4, where both members who were so low HP have not been taken care of, but still, like I said, quite a bit of a challenge up ahead.
Yeah, and the challenge is going to be made even greater there by Kane, taking down Hog Rider. Now Tom fighting solo, last 2 players alive. We've neglected to mention it this entire round, Max, but Tom is on the Zofia, which is certainly a blast from the past.
Yes.
You don't normally see her around anymore, and you don't see Solo around anymore either, at least inside of this round. Sona's got a double kill. Tom tries to open a vertical, instead damages himself in the process, and there's more vertical damage that is the damage to this attack inside. Iron from down below. And there is the 4th round from Mafia Squad.
Oh. Something happening there on the side of Minions, a player leaving and a pause is requested, so we'll have a short pause and hopefully the player is able to return, possibly some kind of connection issues or sound issues or whatsoever. But yeah, interesting of you to actually mention that Zofia, which somehow we actually have been seeing once or twice in the past 2 weeks or so. So Zofia is somehow gaining some increased pick rate, which I'm not entirely sure why. Of course, like she has the nice launcher, but then of course there's Ash, which has a launcher that can even counter mirror these days, so that makes Ash again a bit of a better pick.
Stuns, maybe?
Stuns, yeah, that's the one thing about Zofia, the stuns, but
I mean,
nothing changed to that.
The gun's quite nice, I guess.
Yeah.
If you just want to play the gun, M672, something like that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's something like that. Either way, it's an interesting decision. Purely because I'm not really too sure about the logic behind it, to be perfectly honest with you, Max. But I mean, it didn't work out. But to be honest, I'm not really going to fault Tom for that. It seems like Minions can't really get going today, which is quite unfortunate to see. But Mafia Squad are doing a very good job at shutting them down, making sure that their strategies do not work.
Yeah, and this might be this might be the final day of Minions within this competition. Of course, it's the 1-4 score right now, and if Minions is able to turn it into a 2-4, then there is an opportunity for them on the defense. But yeah, given how bad their defense was on Oregon, they definitely need to figure out some change. This map so far, I would say Minions is doing a bit better than Oregon, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got that first round quite. The first round that they won was actually a very good round from them. However, I mean, they still only have the one round. The only saving grace for them here is that obviously they're attacking on Cafe, which is obviously the side that you would be less favored for. So if you can get a 4-2 half, it's looking bright for the second half of this map.
Indeed. So yeah, the final defensive round for Mafia Squad will be coming up soon, and the final offensive round for Minions will be coming up soon. So like I said, if Minions is able to at least get this final round or this final offensive round for them on the boards, they will have a 2-4 split, which definitely provides some opportunity for them. But yeah, I'm getting a bit scared for Minions. Like I said, there's a bit of an improvement, but it's not that much of an improvement. It's maybe not even enough of an improvement. But of course, the defensive side still needs to happen, and that will definitely decide the fate of Minions. But it will be sad if we would need to say goodbye to them. Of course, either of the two teams, because the loser does get eliminated. But given, of course, the history of Minions, just not having your previous season champion, not in this season's finals, even like in the final stage, that will be an interesting one.
Again, I'm hesitant to call Minions last season's champions because really there's only one player that was last season's champion on that squad. Like Linna's Defense League have qualified to the quarterfinals.
True. Okay. Player-wise, yes, we'll definitely see some Minions players from last season. But of course, team name-wise, it's not an organization, but team name-wise, that would be an interesting one. So I believe this rehost is taking, this player joining is taking longer than expected. The player should have joined back by now. So it looks like we're getting a rehost. So let's just jump to a little big screen, which hopefully shouldn't take too long. But hopefully we'll be back soon with the final round of this first half, and then see how things will go from there. So see you in a bit.
Can't handle any more delays, man.
Please, no.
Well, Ouroboros comes back around and bites Minions where it hurts. They started out the Swiss stage with a 4 versus 5, and well, that's how it's going to end. We had some internet problems, and they're not able to get their player back in, which means they are going to have to play at a player disadvantage, and also on a 1-4 scoreline as well. Not ideal. Obviously, if we cast our minds back to that very first game that we saw from them, I believe, yes, indeed, it was a 7-2 loss to Zach Gaming. However, as Minions showed up late, Zach Gaming got a free round, and also means we're playing in a 4 versus 5. So that wasn't necessarily the situation that you want to see from them. And again, another 4 versus 5 is how they're going to close out their Swiss stage. Unfortunate.
Yeah, so things are definitely not looking favorable for Minions at the moment. Of course, this is going to be the last offensive round, and that's where you can really use the manpower, which they will not have. So I'm very curious how this round will go, but a 4 versus 5 is definitely not going to work out well for them. The only possible chance for Minions is here that they will be able to win 1 or 2 rounds in this 4 versus 5, and then somehow the player is able to revive his internet, and then technically Minions could call out a rehost for the player to rejoin if he cannot rejoin by default. But then they will definitely need to buy themselves some time, as God knows how long this is going to take for that player. So 4 versus 5 happening. We can hear some utility being used. Random drones creating havoc right above the bomb site. Random trains to create loads of verticality. We have seen from the side of Minions how valuable that verticality can be and how dangerous it is towards the side of Mafia Squad. So all Minions need is 1 kill at this moment to equalize the man count. But will they be able to do so?
Yeah, and that obviously needs to be an untraded kill as well, which is often easier said than done. But instead, it's Sanzo who opens up the scoring in this round. 5 versus 3 now, as the defense have pretty much won this round already with just the opening pick. That's kind of this man advantage will get you.
Yeah. And, it's finally, Solo getting that first kill there on Iron. That's now 3 versus 4, still the man advantage for the favor of those. I'm saying that it's Kenzie getting taken out as well. 3 versus 3, equal man count with Solo low in HP, but at least the man count has been equalized. So basically the 4 versus 5 is now equalized. There's no longer disadvantage for for Minions. But one thing that they need to be careful with is the time. That's a 50 seconds. But with Tom getting a kill on yet another player, they finally have the man advantage, which is now lost as Enzo get a kill on Solo. With the 2 versus 2, there's definitely some possibilities here.
Love that from Sanzo as well, holding the trigger discipline just until the last moment, but Tom Fight has found a kill onto Kane. It needs to be Sanzo to clutch up big, has the red pings where these players are, spots the leg of that player's route. Tom Fight now getting this diffuser planted, changes position, and Sanzo, his position is also known, and Hog Rider shuts it down. Minions actually win that round, all on the back, you have to say, of an incredible play by Solo.
Yeah, of all the rounds that we could expect Minions to win, this was definitely not one of those. But the 2-4 provides a bit of opportunity. Like, in terms of the split score, this is, again, a bit of a normal score, right? Because Minions was playing on the offense, the opponent was playing on the defense, which kind of should be favoring them. So 2-4 is not a bad score. So this will give minions some opportunity here on the defense, but again, of course, they are down one member. There's going to be a lot of utility that is going to be lost as well. Luckily, of course, reinforcements already for quite a long time now are formed in a pool, so it's no longer that you lose those two reinforcements as well like you used to do for quite a long time in the game. But yeah, again, the utility and just the manpower will definitely hurt their defense.
Absolutely, because obviously, I mean, the attack can easily overwhelm you now.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to possibly just head more into comfort picks rather than actually playing for utility, because, again, if you go for utility, the attack can overwhelm you in that utility, because, you're playing in a 4 versus 5. You can't bring a lot of that along. And I'm so glad that Sanzo came to his senses, because he was floating a Blackbeard for the longest time there. Grim isn't much of an improvement, but still an improvement.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll find out how things are going. Of course, the members of Minions, they have the time working in their favor. They just need to buy themselves as much time as they can. Hawk Rider looking to go for a nice little payback with the C4 being thrown. But of course, Mafia Squad, they have done the same thing as well. And they should be aware of the possibility that with the shotgun in hands there on the side of the Ram, yeah, of course, it can be opened from a distance. And the C4 unfortunately misses. Did get close, but did miss.
Yeah, close but no cigar. Although it is around cigar, so there's that at least. The defense still in this disadvantage. Then the first minute of this round has gone by without so much of a whisper of damage being dealt. Though there is pressure starting to come through. These drones starting to get closer and closer on through. Utility as well. There go the flashbangs. Shots coming in through. Hog Rider's in a very tricky position, but is doing well to soak up a lot of this attention, soak up a lot of this utility, and the intel as well, just being hounded by these drones. And Kanzi is taken down first by Tom Fight. There's a second with the shotgun, taking down Iron. Hog Rider as well. To 4 versus 2 now. The defense have not lost a player. And Solo gets in on the action as well. Sanzo needs to clutch up big in a 1 versus 4, or his team will lose this round. And Minions will go up to 1 round different.
That's a 4 versus 1 with only Sanzo left standing. The main player, the top fragger of the team on the side of Mafia Squad. So if someone is going to clutch it out, it should be him, especially with utility still remaining. First kill found there onto Solo, but still 3 versus 1 ahead. Beasts go out, try to find any opponent in his path, but unfortunately there's no one spotted out yet. But with the drop, he now finds the kill on Tom as well. A 2 versus 1, a double kill coming out here from Sanzo, who now spots out the Mozzie drone as well, which was hacked by their opponent. Now with 2 versus 1. I mean, he's getting pretty close.
Yeah, sends out the bees as well. Surely not. Has left the diffuser behind. Instead, opting to go for gunfights. Instead here, creeping his way through on the bomb site. Some shots do go wide. That should reveal the Mozzie's positioning. Hog Rider in a tough spot, but finds him actually through the wall instead. Some good calls, I assume, coming out there. I mean, what a shot that is from Hog Rider. The Minions do indeed go up to within 1 round of this attack inside. I mean, Mafia Squads just got absolutely demolished in that one.
Yeah, indeed. And Pasta, I hope you have all the time of the evening, because of course we're going to need it, because it's yet again another rehost. I was getting very excited when I read the word rehost there, because of course I did think that maybe the Minions player was returning, but apparently it's not. It was a problem with the Mafia Squad member, which was not being able to return to the game then. And well, it means that we're still going to continue in a 4 versus 5 after this rehost, as the Minions member still is having the same internet issues, still not resolved. This would have been a perfect member for the player to rejoin, but it seems like it's not going to happen. But at least, hey, round 1 by Minions, 1 step closer. It is still possible.
Yeah, we're going to head to a break just while we get this rehost underway. We don't want to waste any of your time. You can go to the toilet, grab a drink. Also, it rests our throats and voices as well. So don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll have more Cafe Dostoevsky. See you in a few.
Instability, the main enemy for Team Minions in 3 different ways. Roster instability, given, of course, like referring to the many roster changes that has happened over the time for Minions, which is definitely not going to favor them too much. But also instability in terms of performance, mostly referring to the first map of today, Oregon, and the last instability, internet instability, of course, for the player that still hasn't been able to return after this long rehost of over 20 minutes. Still a 4 versus 5, a 3 versus score in the favor of Mafia Squad, who already won the first map. But of course, Minions now on the defense, who just won the first defensive round. Pasta, are you still here?
Honestly, I might not be. I don't know. I might have fallen asleep by this point.
You're physically here, mentally absent.
Yeah, physically I'm here. But who knows? And Solo is going to try and get a cheeky pick right off the bat with a bit of a spawn peek here, but sees no one coming. Instead, the player just sitting on their drone. It is going to be Iron, who is just sitting on that drone. Solo now checking these cameras, trying to find any form of kill. But the jig's surely up now, as Kane is taking a lot of damage instead from a different player, also getting aggressive. I believe that 2B Hog Rider downstairs. This could be very risky yet again for Mafia Squad, as they are already finding themselves quite low on HP.
Yeah, but still 4 versus 5, of course, in the favor of the offensive side, but time never works in their favor, of course, as the defenders have that favor. And Solo getting the first kill on Kenzie, that's definitely going to help out, because that is not just any player lost, but the Jackal. One big pain in the ass for the defensive side, one less thing to worry about. Jackal can no longer hunt them.
Hog Rider is hunted, though, by Sanzo upstairs. And as we can see, this vertical starting to come into play now. Out go these boogie drones from the Ram of Kane. Taken low, but not taken down, and now finding impact with the utility inside of this round. You've got the Buck of Kana there as well upstairs, who can also provide him impact. Never mind. Solo is on a double, traded out though by Sanzo. Really has been a saving grace for his side in this round. Mafia Squad would be absolutely nowhere without that one player. Already 2 kills post rehost. The only 2 kills for his side. Speaking of, that is Solo, who has that title on the side of Minions, and he himself has been taken down. Kane injured by that Nitro cell from Tom Fight. He's not going to be aware of it. The revive comes through. About the same amount of HP even from him now on this one, as well as more vertical starts to get opened up immediately, forcing Alex even further back.
Yeah, 2 versus 3 with 45 seconds remaining. Attackers might have the man advantage, but with one player extremely low and the timer running out for them, they need to be extremely careful, because of course the 2 defenders are waiting in or close to the bomb site, and they'll be waiting. But with Tom Fight unfortunately falling, it's now site presence lost for the defensive side, and Attackers already making their way in and even getting ready for the defuse. Impact nade available there to deny the plants, but the Goyo canister popped, should deny the plants, but Ascenso then fights again on Alex as the last attacking member losing his life, and therefore defensive member losing his life, and therefore a round win here for the defensive side of Mafia Squad, putting the score on 3-5.
I like the idea of shooting out the Goyo canister. I don't like then immediately swinging out into the line of sight that's being watched. Just again, some decision making not quite up to par. In that kind of situation. Obviously, it's a 1 versus 3 anyway. It's going to be very, very difficult for you to win that situation, but definitely chances to, even if you do swing out, just take a bit of a pre-fire to where you think they might be, gives you a better chance than just sort of face-checking the angle, and obviously getting caught out for it. It's quite an easy punish there for the side of Mafia Squad.
Yeah, and Vods is actually dropping the comment in the chat, which was exactly the same thought I was having. Why did the player not just throw the impact nade? The impact nade would have caused extra damage onto the player who was going for the plant, would have likely killed the player together with the Goyo canister, would have dropped the diffuser into the fire, would have dramatically increased the chances for the side of Minions. Of course, it's a split-second thought. Might not have thought of it, but it would have definitely increased the chances.
Absolutely it would have, and we see Solo again trying the same old trick. Just trying to get a kill outside. Hog Rider goes for the jump out. Oh my word, that was risky. taken down to about 30 HP. Okay, it feels like that early aggression has very much been read by Mafia Squad.
Yeah, that was a very, very risky move from the side of Minions, where they already could have lost a member, and they do now as Solo gets taken out by Klein. This might be all over it for this round already. It's now 3 versus 5. Man advantage for the side of Mafia Squad, and yeah, of course, I cannot imagine Minions feeling too confident and too well about this match anymore, as they, of course, playing in the 4 versus 5. They did manage to win 1 round at 1 point, but yeah, still chances are low. However, they do increase with Hog Rider getting a kill, but then with 2 members on the floor, which was not being finished, it's all coming out of the Dome fight, which will unlikely be even able to revive the player. He's now finding himself in the 1 versus 4.
Sound like it was maybe even a 1-tap from Hog Rider just in the same time as getting down. Now has been collected from above, and there goes that vertical angle. There goes Iron bursting into the bomb site. And there goes Mafia Squad with another round, 6-3. Series point is in their clutches. Another round 10 match point for this French side.
Yes, indeed. And this might have marked the end of the match very, very soon from happening. Of course, double D points on the side of Mafia Squads means needs 3 to bring this map to overtime and to still have a chance to win this map and to potentially win the match on a 3rd map. But it all starts to seem very unlikely, especially with the 4 versus 5. So this match that already could have been over for quite a long time might end very soon. But that's really up to the side of Minions in what extent they play this smart or take unnecessary risks too much.
One final chance. I mean, a 4v5 is not how you want things to go, and again, it comes full circle. That's kind of a thing for Minions inside of this one. The name might be going out here, but obviously that winning roster from last season does live on in Leonard's Defense League. And they do make it through to the finals, but Minions themselves are in a very tricky spot in terms of their progression. They have to now win these games. Solo's found a spawn peak very, very quickly. Brings it to a 4 versus 4. The Minions, they have to win 3 rounds in a row here, then win overtime, then win Clubhouse. They want to progress through to the quarterfinals themselves. That opening pick from Solo will certainly help them inside of this one, but it's still a 4 versus 4 with that opening pick being untraded.
Yeah, with the 4 versus 4, there's still 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, so plenty of time for the attacking team to make their way towards the building and secure a nice entry point and weaken the defense. And as we hear even the run drones coming out right now, it's causing a lot of destruction. I'm not even sure where exactly it was placed, but yeah, it will definitely hurt the defense a little bit further.
Oh, let's see. It's taken a bit of a slower pace inside of this one, although it is still the first minute. This top red position now being opened up by those Selma charges of the Ace of Iron up above. Kanzi watching. Alex Northy, though, has found a kill. You've got a shotgun close on the right there. Kanzi, I don't think you want to be getting in through that doorway. It's going to have to be the breach to make any form of progress. The swing comes through. Iron's not watching it. He's spotted the player. The dropper comes down. Somehow the fight's not won. It's a flurry of orange in the kill feed. Hog Rider left alone in a 1 versus 1 now as the C4 takes down Iron. It's just Cerna left alive against Hog Rider, who's trying to save it for his team. Cerna trying to take things over the line. Pre-fires going left and right. Still 75 seconds left to find. Cerna has the diffuser as well in his hands. Does he have the information? Does he know that Hog Rider's rotating over here through the cigar lounge, looking towards the cigar shop? Do they know of each other's position? Cerna inside of the site now. Positions have been swapped over. The kit starting to be planted here in this corner. Does Hog Rider know the position? I believe he does. Start sprinting. Cerna gets off, but Hog Rider saves it. Minions, they stay alive for at least one more round.
Yeah, 4-6 score and now 2 points behind in their opponent and 2 points needed to bring this map to overtime and deny the map points for Mafia Squads and have a chance to still win in the overtime. Of course, still Minions far away, but yet again, they managed to just buy them a little bit more time. time they desperately need, but whether it's enough, that's still the question. Now, of course, they need to go to a bit more of a tricky bomb site, which is going to be fireplace and a library of reading room, which of course is a bit more of a tricky bomb site. Like we have spoken about it before, it was played by the side of Mafia Squad as well. The top floor control is definitely very important for the defensive side, and with only 4 players, that might be a bit tricky. Like if they put too many members on top, they will leave the bomb site too vulnerable. If they don't put enough members on top, they will leave the top floor too vulnerable.
It's a tricky one to balance. And it is very much in the balance, like we've said. Minions needed that 3 rounds in a row. They got the first. There's still 2 more left to find. Solo again going for early spawn peaks. Surely. Surely not this time.
I'm not sure how to,
it's punished.
I'm not sure how to feel about this one either. Okay.
If another spawn peak falls the way of this minion side, oh for goodness sake, how? And Kane nearly dies as well, down to about 25 HP. You know this is the game that they're going to play. You know that minions are going to be aggressive out of these early windows. It's happened every single defensive round. And still, Mafia Squad are punished for it. Thankfully, this time they get the trade, but now Iron's taken down low as well. Hog Rider with another kill. It's a 3 versus 3. This time, no trade comes. And you've got a lot of players low on health for the attack. Iron down to 40 HP. Hog Rider not the healthiest either. But it's the same damn mistakes every single time.
Yeah, Manco's equalized, 2 minutes on the clock. Loads of time for the attacking team to work with and to find and take out those remaining defensive players. So definitely in the favor of the attacking side here, but of course, there is the ace who is fairly low in HP. But Hog Rider still playing above, and I'm not sure about the position of Alex. The top floor, of course, or the bomb site itself. Both of them technically are getting quite vulnerable for a push of the attacking team, and defenders need to be very careful with what they're doing at this point. Every single defender playing upstairs at the moment, this is exactly what I mean. If the attacking team gets information about this, they will likely go for the bomb site itself. Lucky Tomfight rotates back and buys them at least a bit more security. Oh,
security they desperately need, but now the advantage in the hands of Mafia Squad yet again. Sanzo takes the drop now in the bomb site. Tomfight is going to be holding this angle long range. SMG-11 isn't necessarily the best gun to do this with. Do they know? There is a yellow ping, but Sanzo's won it out. So 1 versus 3 now for Alex Northy. There goes the first. C4 out. Does it land? Find the second. Iron's down so low. It was low already. Now 2 HP, possibly. Just a slither of health. Alex now taking pre-fires. He knows these players are here. They take out that default camera. The flashbang doesn't land. Cerner now taking shots as well. Alex can't win it. It's a trade, in fact. And Iron, 1 HP, is the sole reason that Mafia Squad win that round. 7-3, 7-4. 21 rounds it's taken. What feels like an eternity.
Yes.
Mafia Squad march onwards. Quarterfinals awaits.
A victory long overdue. Took way too long, but it's indeed Mafia Squad securing their spot into the final stage, which will take place in January, and Minions, unfortunately, leaving this competition and being eliminated. No finals for them this season, which they, of course, did have last season when they were our grand champion.
Dostoevsky, what a...
Yeah, a map. Like,
what a map.
yeah, like I cannot even begin to imagine how things could have turned out if, of course, Minions would have been able to continue in a full 5 versus 5. Because, of course, yeah, it's safe to say that that definitely did hurt their performance on the second map of today, which could have definitely gone into their favor and which would have then brought them to the final map, which, I mean, could have gone either way. But in the end, of course, yeah, it's the internet provider fault, but also their own fault. Like, it's definitely not Mafia Squad fault. They won fair and square, and they are going to the grand finals. Yeah,
it's a really tricky one for Minions, but
yeah.
Let's have a look at that bracket. Then we have the updated graphic here. There you can see Mafia Squad marching onwards to that quarterfinals. I don't know if we know what team they play just yet.
No, I don't think so. Like, we might be able to see it from the round difference already, but it really depends on the round difference, of course, because like the performance within Swiss depends who you play against, and that's 100% determined tomorrow after the final match. Like I said, might be able to determine if we do some quick calculations, but yeah, let's just wait until tomorrow when we know for 100% sure.
And speaking of tomorrow, Classy Esport versus Wii Sports, you can see it in that graphic. It's the final game of this Swiss phase of this season. And then it's on to quarterfinals. You got a bit of an extended break after this last game. It's, I believe, mid to late January for where we start to have the quarterfinals coming through. Let me just check the dates really quickly.
I got it here for you.
15th of January, yeah. So bang in the middle of the month. We still don't know what game that will be just yet. It's MDF versus somebody. So again, that's absolutely guaranteed to be a banger because I mean, we're into the quarterfinals. It's best of threes from then on out, and obviously best of 5 grand finals to see who wins it in the end. Everything to look forward to, Max.
Yeah, because of course, like the only match confirmed is Flawless 7 versus E-Wave. That's the only one confirmed so far. But after tomorrow, we will know every single match that will be confirmed for those finals. So tomorrow we'll find out. Tomorrow we will be back with, like you said, Ecclesia versus Wii Sports, which is going to be cast by Stucky and likely Dianic, a new caster for us, but some people might already know from other competitions. But she will make a first appearance on the ESA Cup lately. They will be bringing it to you tomorrow. So I hope to all see you tomorrow. If I don't see you anymore, or if I don't speak to you anymore, I wish you all a beautiful holidays. And then we will see each other again after the 15th of January when we go to the finals stage. But first tomorrow, one more match. So have a good evening.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year.